All right, it's 10 a.m. This is the time and place for the Board of Public Education's public hearing in the matter of the adoption of new Rule 1, amendment of ARM 1057-102 and repeal of ARM 1057-437 and 1057-438 pertaining to Class 8 licensure in the Educator licensure standards. My name is McCall Flynn. I'm the Executive Director of the Board of Public Education. I will conduct this hearing and report back to the Board of Public Education. My report will be a summary of the testimony at this hearing, as well as the written comments that may be filed with the Board of Public Education. Written comments concerning these rules may be submitted until 5 p.m. on Monday, July 6, 2026. Administrative rule review is a function of the interim committees and the Environmental Quality Council, or EQC. These interim committees and the EQC have administrative rule review, program evaluation, and monitoring functions for executive branch agencies and the entities attached to agencies for administrative purposes. The Education Interim Committee and the EQC have the authority to make recommendations to an agency regarding the adoption, amendment, or repeal of a rule, or to request that an agency prepare a statement of the estimated economic impact of a proposal. The Education Interim Committee and the EQC may also pull the members of the legislature to determine if a proposal is consistent with the intent of the legislature, or determine a legislative session, introduce a joint resolution directing an agency to adopt, amend, or repeal a rule. The Education Interim Committee and the EQC welcome comments and invite members of the public to appear before them or send written comments in order to bring to their attention any difficulties with the existing proposed rules. The mailing address is P.O. Box 201, 706, Helena, Montana 59620. This is a rule hearing conducted pursuant to the Montana Administrative Procedures Act, or MAPA, which is a section of Montana law governing how state agencies adopt administrative rules. Administrative rules are authorized by state statutory law and are used to implement specific duties directed by Montana legislature. A hearing of this nature is typically recorded, and we are recording this hearing. The recording will help me, as the presiding officer, give a better report back to the Board of Public Education. Under state law, the Board of Public Education makes the final determination in what rules are adopted. To ensure that the public is informed of agency rulemaking and has the opportunity to provide public input, MAPA requires that this hearing be conducted according to some specific statutory requirements. Notice of this hearing was contained in the Montana Administrative Register, notice number 2026-103.1, published on June 5th, 2026 in issue number 11, under Model Rule of the Attorney General's Model Rules for the Montana Administrative Procedures Act, which have been adopted by the board. I'm required to summarize the major provisions of the notice of public hearing. Paragraph 1 of the notice provides a summary of the proposed rulemaking. Paragraph 2 states the hearing date and time, virtual hearing information, and the comment deadline. Paragraph 3 states that the board will make reasonable accommodations for persons with disability who wish to participate in this public hearing, and gives details and comments and contact information for requesting accommodations. Paragraph 4 states that I, McCall Flynn, am the contact information and for public comment. Paragraph 5 of the notice states the general reasonability in the necessity statement, which outlines the general rationale, the adoption and repeal. Rather than read the full text, I will summarize. The proposed rule change would make it easier for qualified college instructors to teach dual credit courses in Montana high schools. Currently, Montana requires college faculty who teach dual credit courses to obtain a K-12 teaching license, a requirement that is uncommon among states that can limit the availability of dual credit opportunities for students. The proposal would reduce administrative barriers while maintaining appropriate safeguards, helping schools to expand access to college-level coursework, and supporting student participation for college and careers. Paragraph 6 outlines the rulemaking actions. Again, rather than reading the full text, I will summarize. ARM 1057-102 is an amendment to definitions. This proposal would add a definition of dual credit. New Rule 1 is a proposal to adopt a new rule titled Dual Credit Faculty License Exception. This rule allows qualified college and university instructors to teach dual credit courses to high schoolers without obtaining a K-12 teaching license. To ensure transparency and accountability, post-secondary institutions offering dual credit courses would still annually register with the Office of Public Instruction, report the schools and courses they serve, and identify the instructors teaching those courses. The Office of Public Instruction would still provide the Board of Public Education with annual report on dual credit participation, including the number of instructors, courses offered, and the subject areas taught. ARM 1057-437 and ARM 1057-438, which currently outline the Class 8 dual credit post-secondary faculty license, are proposed to be repealed. Paragraph 7 of the notice states that the board does not believe that small businesses are likely to be directly impacted by the proposed rule changes. Paragraph 8 states that the board sponsor notification requirements of Montana Code Annotated 2-4-302 do not apply. Paragraph 9 gives notice that the board maintains a rulemaking interested persons list and indicates how a person may have his or her name placed on the list to receive notification from the board of rulemaking matters. Paragraph 10 of the notice states that I, McCall Flynn, Executive Director, have been designated to provide over this hearing. Copies of the notice of public hearing on the proposed rulemaking are available on the board's website, as well as the Secretary of State's website, and can be emailed to interested persons. If you do not have a copy and wish to have a copy emailed to you, please email bpe@mt.gov. Montana Code Annotated 2-4-302-2A requires each agency, which includes boards, to create and maintain a list of interested persons and the rulemaking subject or subjects in which each person on the list is interested. A person who submits a written comment or attends a hearing regarding proposed agency rulemaking must be informed of the list by the agency. The Board of Public Education maintains a list of persons interested in various areas of rulemaking conducted by the board so that the board can provide these persons with notice of proposed rulemaking actions. If you would like to be placed on a rulemaking interested persons list, please email me at bpe@mt.gov or call 406-444-6576 to request to be placed on the list. As stated in paragraph 2 of the notice, written comments submitted after this hearing should be addressed to the board and delivered to McCall Flynn, Executive Director, at P.O. Box 200601, Helena, Montana 59620, or emailed to bpe@mt.gov. To guarantee consideration by the board, comments must have been received in person or postmarked no later than 5 p.m. on Monday, July 6, 2026. The purpose of this hearing is to collect verbal comments concerning proposed rules changes and gather public input concerning the changes. If you are recommending specific language changes, please submit them in writing or be specific in your recommendation. The hearing is not a question and answer session. If you have technical or procedural questions, you may reach out to our office following the hearing conclusion. Following the close of comments, the Board of Public Education will, as required by law, summarize the comments made and respond to them. The summarized comments and the Board of Public Education responses will be published in the Montana Administrative Register as part of the rulemaking process. At this time, if you'd like to make public comment, please raise your hand and I'll promote each person individually to speak. Please identify yourself for the record by stating your name and who you represent. Please say whether you're supporting of the rule or an opponent of the rule prior to giving your testimony. So any of those who are in the attendees, please raise your hand now if you'd like to speak. All right, seems we only have attendees today. So I will determine that the hearing is now over. Of course, the record still remains open until 5 p.m. on Monday, July 6, 2026. The Board of Public Education will make decisions concerning these rules at their next scheduled meeting on July 23rd through the 24th, 2026. We'll be meeting here in Helena. Please remember you can send written comments to the Board of Public Education, P.O. Box 200601, Helena, Montana 59620, or email bpe@mt.gov. Thank you so much for your time and have a good day.